All right, guys. Today for the injuries. All right, Ford will be out with the back. Garoppolo's out with his ankle. Greenlaw quad. Mosley still in the concussion protocol. Mostert with his knee sprain. Jordan Reed with his knee sprain, and K1 with hip discomfort. All right, go ahead.
Kyle, in terms of Deebo Samuel, he's going to be practicing today. And then what are you expecting to see from him, and what does he have to do to prove that he's going to be able to play Sunday night for you?
He's healthy, so we just want to see him out there and get back in the swing of playing football. It's been a while since he has. I know he's been working hard on his own with football and everything, and with our trainers and and everyone else with the rehab. But we just need to see him go through 3 days and what type of shape he's in, and if he can protect himself, he'll be out there.
Hey, Kyle, I probably have a very rambling question here, but when you look at what's happening with the Titans and that game being postponed for a day or two, the memo that went out from Troy Vincent threatening suspensions and the loss of draft picks if coaches don't wear their face covering. There was a report that you and all the other coaches had appealed your fines from the first week. So I was just kind of wondering about what your thought is on that, with the NFL kind of raising the stakes now and making it even more, the punishment even greater. And as well as, how did you do you think, on Sunday with those protocols and the face coverings?
How many questions were in that?
There's about 7 or 8.
Oh, no, I think it's all, I think we understand it all. I think it has to deal with the whole world. When we're trying to pull off a season, and it's just a reminder how quick that can spread, and when people get it. And it happened to the Titans this week, and you see what happens. And once that happens, you do got to shut things down, and that is a huge deal. And if we let that get out of hand, that would be very tough for our league finishing this season. So completely understand all the measures they're taking. Last week was the first time that did it every single play, kept it on throughout the whole game. It's not the most fun thing, as everyone realizes, but it's definitely worth it and something we need to do. I feel a lot safer in the games and a lot safer in this building. With us getting tested every day and everyone else in here, we got to make sure that we are extremely smart outside of here, who we put ourselves around, what situations we put ourselves in, and because you're going to get tested the next day you come back in the building, but you can't be walking around here for 24 hours with us not knowing, and that's why it's also important what we do in here. But it all makes sense to everybody, and I think everyone completely understands that, and I think we're pretty clear on that now, and no issues at all with it.
Similar to Cam's question, what does Jimmy Garoppolo need to do this week in order to be on the field on Sunday? 2 days of practice, 1 day of practice?
No, he's just got to be able to be healthy in terms of he can run around and protect himself, make throws. Anytime you're dealing with an ankle, you might feel all right when you're standing there, but can you move around and get into awkward positions without hurting yourself? And that's really what we'd have to see. It would be tough for us to see that and truly judge that if he didn't get into practice. So hopefully he can get out there for at least one live period, and we have those all the way up till Friday. So we just got to see that he's healthy. But that won't be able to happen if we can't get him in practice.
Kyle, is Kittle still limited, or will you be ramping him up this week as we move forward?
No, he's full go today. We'll always be smart with him. We're not just going to throw him in with his normal reps and everything, but he's full go. He'll be involved in it all, and I'm excited to see him out there going.
Hey, Kyle, this is someone out there on social media, but I'll own the question. It is mine. Does a scenario exist, whether Jimmy's out for 1 or 2 more games, in which Nick Mullins is so impressive that he could win the starting job?
No, that scenario doesn't exist, but I don't think past 1 game either. So that's for you to do. But this is Jimmy's team. He's done a hell of a job for us, and when he's healthy, he'll be playing again for us.
Kyle, just knowing what Carson Wentz has done in the past in comparison to how he's looked this season, how do you sort of approach preparing for him? And if you were coaching a quarterback who had high highs in the past and was struggling this year, what would your coaching points be?
We're coaching like we're playing against Carson Wentz, who is one of the better quarterbacks in this league. He was the best player in the league the year they won the Super Bowl. And I think he's done a lot of good things since. I know his numbers aren't great this year, and I know a lot of people are saying things about him, but when I watch the film, I see Carson Wentz. He's a guy who can make a lot of plays. He's very hard to take down. He's got a strong arm. He competes as much as anyone in this league. I got a ton of respect for him. And, anytime you get picks and stuff, which aren't always on the quarterback, but when numbers are like that, that just goes with the territory. But I would tell someone like that it would be somewhat easy to deal with because, perception doesn't have to be your reality. He's a hell of a quarterback, and I know how this league feels about him.
Hi, Kyle. Last year, given the struggles down the stretch against guys like Grady Jarrett and Chris Jones, do you feel that your interior offensive line is improved and ready for the challenge against a guy like Fletcher Cox?
Yeah, I think we're ready for the challenge. Without a doubt, I think we're ready for any challenge. But I don't care who's going against Fletcher Cox. If you become one-dimensional and he can just tee off and he's getting a lot of one-on-ones and things, it really doesn't matter. He's that good of a player, and he's got a bunch of real good guys around him, and has a scheme that completely fits the skill set. So it's a challenge for our entire team, not just our offensive line. We got to be in a situation where we can be balanced and make them play everything, not just the past, and that is a challenge for everyone who's dressed.
Cal, do you still anticipate that Jordan Reed and D Ford maybe have to placed on IR later this week? And then what was your impression of Dion Jordan and Ziggy Ansah?
Yeah, I do expect them to go on IR later this week. And then Jordan and Ziggy, I was very happy with. They both came in there. Jordan's been with us throughout training camp. Got picked up, got taken to the main roster off the practice squad, and he's just been waiting for his opportunity. He knew it'd come eventually. It came in the third week, and he got on the stat sheet with a sack. He had a fumble recovery, played very hard and did his job. And Ziggy had been here a limited time, but he came in, pushed the pocket well, got some pressure on the quarterback, and we're real excited to have both of them here going forward.
Kyle, was waiving Kyle Nelson a difficult decision for you, or was it something you felt was inevitable?
We felt it was a little inevitable after the game and everything. It was always difficult because of what Kyle's meant to the organization, how good of a guy Kyle is, how good of a player that he's been. And it doesn't mean he can't be going forward. But it's always hard from the personal relationship that we've had with him. And he knew the deal, and it was just a tough game for him. And usually something like that, you do have to move on, give someone else an opportunity. But Kyle handled it great, and I wish him the best. And I don't think this league will see the last of him, though.
Regarding Kyle, were there inconsistencies that we weren't seeing, that a layman doesn't see in practice, or was it just one bad game and you just can't have that type of game in the NFL?
I think that there's only 32 of them, and then there's a number of guys trying to get in. It's very similar to the kicker position, and people can get hot and cold. And Kyle hasn't been playing as good as he has in the past. It was kind of trending a little bit that way, and you want to do it. If you see things trending that way just a little bit, you try to make a decision before it hurts you. And I think you guys saw what happened on Sunday. So fortunately, we were able to win the game, and you just got to make sure that doesn't happen again. It doesn't mean that he won't get out of it. I actually believe he will, but it's something that you just can't risk. You got to decide. We've been sticking with it, and I think that was the writing on the wall that game, that we just had to make a tough decision and move on for now.
Kyle, we're used to watching a Shanahan-led rushing offense have success, and that really hasn't happened this year outside of a few explosive runs. Seems like the offensive line is struggling to open holes. What would you attribute that to? And are you concerned about the struggles of the running game?
No, but we definitely need to do better. I thought we had a chance to run for a lot of yards versus the Jets, and I thought we missed a couple, got a couple called back, and then we had way too many negatives. Last week versus the Giants, I thought they did some fronts that caught us off a little bit, some stuff just from coaching wise. We didn't put the guys through. Sometimes they had about 6 bigs on the line of scrimmage, and they had a pretty good defensive line front. I know we could have done better, which I challenged the line with. I challenged everybody with. But I also think it was extremely important that we threw the ball well, too, because it's hard you want to attack the weaknesses of defense. And when people put their strength in the stop and the run, you better make them pay in the pass. And fortunately, we were able to do that versus the Giants. We should have ran it better versus the Jets, but I thought that's what we needed to do in the Giants game.
Got one more question?
Kyle, I know they're a few weeks away from having their windows able to open, but the three guys on PUP, how are they coming along from what you know?
Which guys again?
The three guys on PUP, Taylor, Richburg, and Blair.
I think from what I hear, they're coming along great. I mean, it's not going to be here in the next week or so, but I know we're a few weeks away on it, but their progress is how it was at the beginning. They've had no setbacks, so hopefully halfway through the season, they'll be ready to help us.
Hey, faithful, don't forget to click here and subscribe.